Heaven Comes, The Journey of Time and Space Rift. Chapter 1, The Arrival of the Space-Time Rift. The sky is full of clouds, and the sky seems to be covered with a grey veil. On the sea, a dilapidated warship sailed alone, and there was only one nameless soldier on board. His name was Tang Chong. He was not a hero, nor did he have a brilliant record, but an ordinary soldier who gradually became accustomed to life and death in hard training and difficult battles. His world has always been filled with the roar of cold weapons, and the battlefield filled with thin smoke, but there has never been peace. Today, however, it seems to be different than usual. Tang Chong sat on the deck of the warship and looked up at the sky. Suddenly, the canopy shook violently, and the entire sea surface seemed to be torn apart by some great force, and the clouds on the horizon began to twist and deform, forming a huge whirlpool. Tang Chong was shocked, and involuntarily stood up and looked around. It was a phenomenon he had never seen before, a massive rift in time and space that was tearing open the veil of reality at an astonishing rate. "It's, what?" Tang Chong whispered, a wave of uneasiness welling up in his heart. The center of the vortex emitted a metallic glow, and as it grew larger, the edges of the vortex began to expand, as if to suck everything into it. At this moment, the entire warship shook violently, Tang Chang's eyes widened, and the world in front of him suddenly began to collapse. Before he could react, the entire warship was pulled into the crack by a powerful force, and then, it was pitch black. Chapter 2, Coming to the Other World. When Tang Chong woke up again, he found himself in a strange world. The sky here is blood red, and the air is filled with a strong aura of magic. Surrounded by ancient castles and eerie buildings, towering minarets hung with bizarre runes, and the surrounding land is littered with devastated battlefield marks. Tang Chong was stunned, completely unable to comprehend the scene in front of him. As he fumbled to his feet, he suddenly felt a strong threat. He quickly pulled out the gun he had with him and looked around warily. Suddenly, a low roar rang out, and as the sound came, a huge monster slowly emerged from the shadows. It was a giant beast dressed in a steel shell, dozens of meters tall, with thick limbs and a red glow in its eyes. It let out a deep roar, obviously threatening Tang Chang's existence. Tang Chong did not hesitate at all, pulled the trigger, and the bullet shot out like thunder. Curiously, however, the bullets seemed to be completely ineffective against the behemoth. The beast roared and rushed towards him. Tang Chang's heart was beating faster, knowing that if he didn't act at this time, he would probably die under the claws of this monster. Tang Chong cursed in a low voice and quickly activated the combat device he was carrying, which was an advanced high-tech weapon. I saw that the device unleashed a strong wave of energy, enveloping him in a protective shield. Just as the giant beast was about to hit Tang Chong, a strong light shot from a distance, directly knocking the giant beast away. As the beast fell to the ground, a figure appeared. It was a knight in black armor with a glittering silver sword in his hand. Under his mask, a pair of cold eyes stared at Tang Chong, as if assessing his value. "Who are you?" Tang Chong asked vigilantly. "My name is Feng Yat." The knight's voice replied coldly, "You've been taken to another world, a world of magic and war. You have to choose whether to live or die." Tang Chong was shocked in his heart. He knew that he could not return to the original world. Here, everything had become strange and dangerous. Chapter 3, The Coming of Heaven. Over time, Tang Chong gradually adapted to this new world. Under Feng Yi's guidance, he entered this territory called the Kingdom of Heaven. This place was completely different from the world he knew, a superpower of many races and forces, with advanced technology and powerful magical powers. The people of heaven live a relatively stable life, they don't have to worry about monsters and foreign invaders, and even internal wars are rare. However, this land is not peaceful, and there is a huge conspiracy and crisis behind it. Feng Ye told Tang Chong that the founder of the Heavenly Kingdom, an existence called the Shining Heavenly Emperor, possessed unparalleled power. The Radiant Emperor used his power to suppress the otherworldly creatures of this world and establish this land of peace. However, the world is also facing an unprecedented crisis, the rift in time and space is expanding, and many external evil forces are quietly approaching. You're from the Republic, and that makes you a special presence in this land. Feng Ye looked at Tang Chong meaningfully. Your technology, and the power of our magic, could change the fate of the kingdom. Tang Chong couldn't help frowning. He never imagined that he would play such an important role in such a world. He is burdened with a mission from another world. Chapter 4, The Beginning of the Conquest. Tang Chong showed amazing talent in the military training of the Heavenly Kingdom, and was quickly reused by the Heavenly Imperial family. Not only did he learn to control magic, but he also brought the Republic's high-tech combat tools into the world. His knowledge and skills became part of the military power of the Heavenly Kingdom, and he won amazing victories in several wars. However, as his reputation in heaven grew, Tang Chong discovered that peace in this land was facing an even more terrible threat. Behind the rift lies a formidable foe, an ancient empire from another dimension with unimaginable dark magic and technology. Our enemies are not only messengers of magic. Feng Yi's tone was heavy. Their technology is going to be more powerful than you can imagine. If you want to save this land, you must lead us into this coming war. Tang Chong was silent for a long time, and then nodded. This war will decide the fate of this world. And he will be the future conqueror of the Kingdom of Heaven. Chapter 5, The Time of the Decisive Battle. Under Tang Chang's leadership, the Celestial Army began to prepare for a decisive battle with the otherworldly empire. This is a war that spans time and space, and the two forces will fiercely confront each other in this land. Tang Chong led the army of the Heavenly Kingdom, piloted the most advanced mecha, and launched a fierce duel with the enemy's magic legion. In the end, Tang Chong fought a decisive battle with the leader of the otherworldly empire, the Dark Emperor. This battle is not only a contest of strength, but also a contest of wisdom and will. After a fierce battle, Tang Chong finally defeated the Dark Emperor, smashed the conspiracy of the otherworldly empire, and saved the Heavenly Kingdom. Chapter 6, The Future of Heaven. After the war, Tang Chong was hailed as a hero of the Kingdom of Heaven and was appointed as the supreme ruler of the Kingdom of Heaven. However, instead of choosing a comfortable life, he decided to continue to explore more unknown worlds and find more truths. This is just the beginning. Tang Chong whispered, staring at the distant sky. The future of heaven will be decided by him. Chapter 7, The Crisis Returns. With the passage of time, the Kingdom of Heaven seems to gradually return to peaceful days, and the lives of the people are again at peace. However, Tang Chong always had a feeling of uneasiness in his heart, as if some hidden shadow was quietly approaching. One day, Feng Ye brought news from afar. The rift in time and space has expanded again, this time beyond everyone's expectations, and on the other side of the rift is countless armies from other worlds. These creatures, civilizations, and forces from different dimensions are gathering in unprecedented legion, preparing to launch an attack on the Heavenly Kingdom. Tang Chang's heart sank. He knew that this war would be even more cruel, and besides, the enemy this time was not only as simple as magic and the power of darkness, but also super technology from other dimensions. The past war with the otherworldly empire, although difficult, is still within a known scope, and this time the enemy is completely unknown. Feng Yat, do you have a way to seal the rift? Tang Chong looked at Feng Yat, a hint of determination flashed in his eyes. Feng Yi's face was solemn and he shook his head. The energy of the crack continued to increase, and our strength was difficult to block. To make matters worse, the opening of this rift was not accidental, it could well be the beginning of a conspiracy. Tang Chang's heart moved. Conspiracy? Yes. Feng Ye said in a low voice, I once saw an ancient prophecy from ancient records about an existence called the Elder. They are able to control the rift in space-time, bring devastating power from different dimensions, and try to break the boundaries of time and space, merge multiple worlds into one, and then build an empire across dimensions. Tang Chang's brows tightened. This kind of power, whether in terms of magic or technology, far exceeded the scope of what he could imagine. Who the hell is the Elder? Why did they choose to show up at this time? The answer to everything seems to point to a more insidious conspiracy. Chapter 8, Undercurrents. Tang Chong decided to go to the source of the rift himself and investigate the conspiracy behind it. He has gathered the elite army of the Heavenly Kingdom and is ready to go deep into the heart of the rift in time and space to find the truth of everything. In the process, he also discovers some strange phenomena. Many otherworldly creatures that have come in through the rift seem to be particularly interested in certain parts of the world, especially ancient ruins and sealing sites. What are these otherworldly creatures looking for? Tang Chang's heart was full of doubts. However, Feng Yi's answer did not solve his confusion. The behavior of these creatures is not simple. Feng Ye said softly, they seem to be looking for some key item, an artifact that can break through the boundaries of the world, or rather, a mechanism that can reactivate the rift. Tang Chang's heart was shocked. Divine weapon. Feng Ye nodded. As far as I know, this artifact may be a relic from the Shining Heavenly Emperor era, and the truth of that era is still unknown to this day. These hidden clues point to the ancient heritage of the Heavenly Imperial family. Tang Chong decided to go to the palace to find more clues from the ancient collection of books and documents. He led Feng Ye and a small group of elites deep into the forbidden place of the palace, where the deepest secrets of the Kingdom of Heaven were hidden. Chapter 9, The Truth of the Forbidden Land. In the depths of the Forbidden Land, Tang Chong discovers a hidden basement filled with worn-out books, runes, and ancient mysterious devices. As they delved deeper, they finally discovered an ancient book called The Age of Glory, which recorded the true process of the founding of the Kingdom of Heaven. Shining Heavenly Emperor, not only did he establish this peaceful nation, but he also possessed a power that could control time and space. Feng Ye turned the pages of the book and read in a low voice, this power is endowed by an item called the Heart of Time, which can control the space-time structure of the entire world. A hint of surprise flashed in Tang Chang's eyes. Heart of Time, is that the artifact that the elders need? Feng Ye nodded, yes. That's the power they want, and that's the key to breaking the boundaries of time and space. Then, why didn't the Shining Heavenly Emperor destroy this artifact? Tang Chong asked. On his deathbed, the Shining Emperor sealed the heart of time in this forbidden land and set up many obstacles for it. He knew that the power of this artifact was too powerful, and if it fell into the wrong hands, it would have devastating consequences. Feng Ye said. A sense of crisis rose in Tang Chang's heart. He understands that the situation is much more dangerous than he imagined. If the elder finds the heart of time, this world will no longer be the one he is familiar with. Chapter 10, The Final Showdown. Tang Chong decided to set off and head to the deepest part of the Forbidden Land to stop the Reacher's plot. He led the army through many dangers and finally came to the sealed land of the Heart of Time. The atmosphere here was unusually heavy, and the air was filled with a thick amount of magical energy, and it was clear that the elders were close to their goal. It's finally here. A cold voice came from the darkness, and as it sounded, a figure appeared. It was none other than the leader of the elders, a man in dark armor. His eyes flashed red with a disdainful smile. You can't stop me. The leader of the elders sneered, the power of the Heart of Time will allow me to break the boundaries of time and space and create a new world. Tang Chong stared at him coldly, you're wrong. The order of this world can only be guarded by us. As the words fell, the battle broke out. Tang Chong had a fierce duel with the leader of the elders, and the collision of the two forces shook the entire space like a river and a sea. However, Tang Chong was not alone, and Feng Ye and the Heavenly Kingdom's army also joined the battle in an attempt to stop the Elder Clan's conspiracy. After a life-and-death duel, Tang Chong successfully defeated the leader of the Elder Realms, destroying the source of the Heart of Time's power. With the shattering of the artifact, the rift in time and space gradually closed, the armies of the other world were forced to retreat, and peace was restored to the Kingdom of Heaven once again. Chapter 11, Choices for the Future. After the war, Tang Chong stood in the highest hall of the Kingdom of Heaven and looked into the distance. He knows that although the war is over, the future is still full of challenges. The future of heaven will be led by him, and he has finally found his true mission, not only for this land, but also for the entire multidimensional world. Feng Ye, I will go on the road in the future. Tang Chong said in a deep voice, there are still too many unknowns in our world. Feng Ye nodded slightly, yes, this is the beginning.